Hello, 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 and welcome to the greatest business commentary channel on YouTube, NGB Business News. I've got Josie with me right here. Say hey. Say hey. May not be able to see him behind the mic, but I'm sure he'll be around in this stream and everything like that. But guys, we got some really good topics for you guys here today. We're talking about North Korea actually today, which is something we rarely ever talk about. Normally it's all about China, but no, North Korea is definitely I guess you could call it an an opposition of the United States. There's Josie, he's on the move a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. So apparently they're running some drills. They're kind of spying on us a little bit, or they're looking at these U.S. military drills. I'm assuming possibly in the South Pacific kind of area and everything like that. But we'll see what's going on with that. Also, we're going to kind of go into Obama's spending bill, kind of how he handled the deficit, and see kind of how that's played out and the effects that that will have on the future. So that should be very interesting. As you guys know, Joe Biden and his administration are working with the Republicans right now, possibly ending today, on how we will handle this deficit and everything like that. We're going to go into Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Of course, you guys know I have to touch on them. And there's been rumors going around. I'm not going to say if it's true or not, because honestly, I don't know. We don't know. But the news is out that potentially, he may not be so happy in his marriage, which doesn't necessarily surprise me or probably most of you guys watching as well. But we're going to hear about it. And I'm hearing that maybe this news may be coming from a butler. Oh, you want to talk now? Oh, you want to talk to the people now? And we also have streaming services have been removing movies. You want up?
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
There you go.
Oh no.
What's up? And apparently streaming services have been removing a lot of movies and shows. I don't know if this has to do with their budget. I'm not sure exactly what the situation is with that. But I know you guys got that Amazon Prime. I know you guys got that Netflix. I know you got that Hulu and everything. So I think this is definitely something we will want to touch on, because we want to know which shows are leaving, one, and we will want to know why these shows are leaving in the first place. Absolutely. Yeah, mess with the keys. Yeah, but before he starts messing with the keys, I'm going to put this man down. Say hey to the people, though. And as you know, let's go ahead and get into the first topic. What's wrong, man? He's going to be here. He's going to be talking. Well, let's see. So, guys, we've got North Korea says it will launch its first ever military satellite to monitor U.S. drills. Very interesting here. Now, I wonder where these drills will be. It will really be the first question I'll ask. I'm assuming these aren't going to be, military drills within the United States, because that would be, that would be a little bit crazy. Also, I mean, I could definitely see us monitoring them. So, maybe it's not too crazy. But let's see what's going on here, people. Now it says North Korea announced its plans to launch its first ever military spy satellite, giving a lift for some South Korean and Japanese defense stocks, which will make sense. If North Korea is starting to push out onto the world a little bit, if they're starting to, kind of assert their dominance and show, hey, we are a world power. We are going to be out here and watching the same way that we watch China nuclear, operations and things like that. I mean, think about what we did in the Middle East and the type of influence that we had in the Middle East. So, of course, if you're a Korean, a Korean or a Japanese defense stock, then it would make sense for that to kind of go up, because that would show a need for more military action or things around there, at least in more military presence. At least a new military presence in that area, of course. So because of that, that means that that these countries would essentially try to up their military, which means that they would need tools, they would need weapons, everything like that, and that would directly influence a upwards momentum in those stocks from those countries. Now it says North Korean military official Ri Pyong Chol said in a Monday statement that Pyongyang's plans to launch, as you guys know, it's a city, plans to launch a satellite with the aim to, wait, is that a city? Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Maybe not. But plans to launch a satellite with the aim to track dangerous actions by the U.S., pointing to its recent joint military drills taking with South Korea. And if we're doing a lot of drills with South Korea, which obviously is on the border, they're bordered together with North Korea, then North Korea is going to feel some type of way about that. It just makes sense. North Korea claimed that the event fully proves how the enemy is making preparations for the military act of aggression in the DPRK. I'm assuming that's the Democratic something of Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Now it says said the satellite scheduled to launch in June will be indispensable to tracking, monitoring, and discriminating, controlling, and copying. In advance, it's in real time the dangerous military acts of the U.S. and its kind of like a water, forces openly revealing their reckless ambition for aggression. Now it says, under the present situation brought by the reckless U.S. military acts by the U.S. and South Korea, we steadily feel the need to expand reconnaissance and information means and improve various defensive and offensive weapons and have the timetables for carrying out their development plan. So not only are they saying, hey, you guys are running a lot of, military operations. We feel some type of way, as you guys are our ops. So we're just going to kind of take precautionary measures between that, kind of up our military and everything like that. And they kind of, I wouldn't call it a threat, but they kind of are letting us know, like, hey, like, we're here. They're saying we have plans, to kind of roll this out depending on month by month, essentially scheduling it out when everything will, take place. Now, of course, as we know, the defense stocks have risen because of this. Shares of South Korean defense companies First Tech and VTech rose 3.8% and 3.3% respectively Tuesday afternoon, returning to a market holiday Monday. Korea Aerospace Industries is also edged up 0.6%, so a little rise there. Japanese defense company Hoiza Pyro Engineering gained 1%, while Mitsubishi, we all know about Mitsubishi, come on here, inched up 1.6%. I feel like that's irrelevant. 1.6%, that could be any day. And you can kind of see just a chart of Hosea Pyro Engineering. As we can see, it's actually come down a little bit in the recent months and everything like that. But as we know, it had a great day today. Now, which doesn't surprise me at all, because think about it. Most things in the economy right now are down. I mean, the U.S. is definitely down, but other countries are also feeling the heat from, the Russian-Ukraine war, all the conflict that brings, the uncertainty that brings. We're also all kind of trying to get right a little bit after the C-19 pandemic and everything like that. So it would make sense for even these military stocks to be down. I mean, what is the point of having a military when people don't even want to touch each other? It's not like you're going to be holding heavy military operations in another country when you're scared to even touch people, Now it says Japan's defense ministry warned it will take all possible measures to destroy any North Korean missile that enters its territory, adding that Pyongyang's repeated. So Pyongyang may be what is that? I'm assuming it's not a city. That's probably more so what is that? The North Korean leader or something like that. No, because I feel like that. I feel like he has another name, but I'm assuming it's him. Repeated testing of its ballistics missiles pose a threat to the peace and security of the region and the international community. Essentially, they're kind of they're like, we don't know what North Korea is going to be going to be coming with. If they are coming with anything, we want to be ready for it. And as you know, we cannot read this. Now, ICBM test ahead. Stefan Nagy, a professor at the International Christian University, said the launch could be something else like an intercontinental ballistics missile test. North Korea will go ahead with the satellite launch. I think most analysts believe that's actually an ICBM. demonstrating increased capabilities of being able to attack U.S. bases in the Pacific, but also on the mainland. So they're basically predicting not an attack necessarily, but the possibility of an attack. They're seeing that it's possible. So the point that they're saying it's possible, they just want to be ready if anything were to happen. Now he says he also sees the latest announcement from Pyongyang as a signal from North Korea to the U.S. to take the country more seriously and to return to the negotiating table, as the spotlight for Washington's foreign policy remains on China and Taiwan. Like I was saying earlier, we haven't made any videos on North Korea recently at all, and that's mostly because there hasn't been any news on North Korea at all. We've kind of just seen them sitting to the back, and we've been like, the main issue is China, and maybe North Korea has an issue with that. Maybe they want to be able to negotiate, but they want to be able to negotiate from a point of power, and they can't do that, if obviously we only consider Russia, China, true threats, that we would actually want to sit down and get that worked out with, because we see them as a warning. What's going on, man? You're doing a lot of talking. What's going on, man? What's up, man? What's up, man?
No.
What?
No.
Oh no? Oh no, what? Let me know if you need something. Now, North Korea and its inability to move forward on some kind of compromise, to move towards verifiable, irreversible denuclearization really puts the Biden administration in a position where if the North Koreans don't move in terms of compromise, that the U.S. can continue and will continue to enhance their deterrence capabilities within the region. So it essentially says to me, like, okay, if they're basically telling North Korea, if North Korea is going to continue to just get more powerful, start building more nuclear arms, start building their their military, then the U.S. and possibly their allies, Korea, Japan, whoever it may be, will also, have to build a deterrence within that region as well, just to combat that possible threat that could be there. Now it says North Korea has been under heavy sanctions for years and is still enraged in proactive behavior and leads to the question of, do we need a new strategy and who do we work with? I don't think there's an easy solution as we move forward on this problem. The Biden priority is, of course, China, then Russia, like I said, and then ensuring the Indonesian Pacific region is broadly peaceful and stable. Taiwan is at the top of the agenda because it's a crucial part of U.S. relations with China. We also owe them a lot of money, by the way, as well. So that could definitely play a part in this. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you guys think that North Korea is really still a threat? Or do you guys kind of think that they're like the kind of annoying baby? Right now, I think they're kind of like the annoying stepchild or something where it's like, yeah, I got to consider you to be there, but you're not my main focus, and everything like that. Like it said, Russia is the main focus. China is the main focus. We want to protect Taiwan, who China has been making a lot of moves on. We know they dropped a Call of Duty EMP, essentially, potentially, and allegedly, killing communication within Taiwan, which was a whole thing. It was a whole issue and everything like that. But let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys really think North Korea is something that we should be watching? Do you guys think we should be putting forth energy and effort to, kind of deter possible, statements from North Korea? Or should right now the Russia-Ukraine situation is so hectic, China's making big moves, they're trying to ruin our economy, they already said they want to ruin the US dollar, is that where our priority should be? So just let me know what you guys think about this. Also, if there's anything that I missed, especially about our relations with North Korea, definitely let me know about that, because I do miss things, and I would like to know, because like I said, North Korea isn't a topic that I've hit on recently. Excuse me. But I'm not going to hold you guys up, so let's get into the next topic, which is actually about Obama. We haven't spoken on Obama, really? Honestly, I don't think we've spoken on Obama on this entire channel, people. So that's very interesting, and this has to do with the 2.1 trillion in spending cuts that he had to end the 2011 debt ceiling crisis, which now you guys know we're dealing with the debt ceiling crisis again, but as opposed to cutting money like it seems like Obama was doing. Biden essentially needs us to put more money in. He needs us to raise that so we can pay our bills, so our government workers can be paid and everything like that. So let's see what they have to say about Obama's role. You know what I'm saying? When he was a president and everything like that. I was very young. I was younger. You know what I'm saying? When Obama was in office. So I don't know too much about his policies and everything like that. Am I a big Obama fan? Not really. No, not at all. I would more so look at it as a negative than a positive. But hey, you know, it is what it is. And if he was definitely trying to go out here and make budget cuts, which we all need, and was able to successfully do that, then I think that's definitely a benefit as we see all the problems that Joe Biden and his administration is dealing with right now. So let's get into it. Now it says the nation is days away from defaulting on its obligations. The Republican House Speaker, pushed by conservatives and his party, demands deep spending cuts. The president, a Democrat, works on negotiating a package to avert fiscal calamity. No, it's not 2023. It's 2011, people, when then President Barack Obama agreed to a debt ceiling deal with the then House Speaker, John Boehner, that is called for more than $900 billion in upfront spending cuts and deficit reduction, as well as the creation of a joint congressional committee that will find at least $1.2 trillion in additional belt tightening. So I wonder what his justification for this was. You know, if you're going to, if you're going to bring down the debt ceiling, obviously there's going to be a lot of money that can't go into a lot of places that it was. So first thing I'm thinking is, so who got cut? You know, for there to be, that means there's budget cuts, you know, just like at a company. If there's budget cuts, maybe the water machine that you go to won't be as nice. Maybe the hotels that you guys have for, you know, traveling won't be as nice. Same general concept with the country, you know. So I'm wondering what was in the plan to be cut, you know. Now it says the situation is similar to the one President Joe Biden, who served as Obama's vice president, is facing today. He and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a Republican, are pushing their parties to swiftly approve their agreement to address current debt limit drama before the U.S. could start missing payments on June 5th, which, as you guys know, is coming up. May, June, July, guys. So literally coming up in the next few days. Oh, wow. You got something to say to the people? He's over there. He's having a good time. He's having a good time. We're having a good time over here. Now it says today's House Republicans may want to look back at the results of their predecessor's hard-fought deal. Things didn't proceed as planned, okay? And a chunk of the reductions was ultimately pared back through a subsequent series of bipartisan bills. Once Congress took a look at the programs and what was required, they realized they couldn't make cuts that deep, which, like I was thinking, it's difficult. I mean, obviously, maintaining the budget is key, especially with the inflation that's going on and everything like that. But major cuts like that was actually a very big and bold move by Obama. Like, I gotta kind of like it, but I also don't know where these cuts were going to come. If they came into, you know, somewhere that, you know, I would deem as important or that we would deem as necessary. What's going on? No. Your show? Oh, Daffy Duck just fell in the water, guys. Daffy Duck fell in the water. Oh, no. Now, well, it says what happened after the 2011 deal was signed. The Joint Committee in 2011 was tasked with finding additional deficit reduction measures to offset a $1.2 trillion increase in the debt ceiling. If members failed in their mission, automatic cuts would slow the growth of expected spending would kick over the next decade. Now it says that the committee did not accomplish its goal, which triggered the spending caps known as sequestration. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that term. Let's see. Does it have a... Oh, no. We can't go into the whole video, but that's interesting. but it's a series of automatic across-the-board cuts to government agencies totaling 1.2 trillion over 10 years. The cuts will be split 50-50 between defense and domestic discretionary spending. Interesting. Now, now it says we basically unwound this bill little by little. In the end, spending was curtailed by about 1.5 trillion of the total 2.1 trillion agreed in the 2011 deal. So Obama kind of got that done. I mean, if he was trying to cut that, I mean, obviously he's not going to get his full bill in. We know that doesn't necessarily happen often and everything like that. But to be able to get 1.5 trillion out of 2.1 trillion is actually that's quite successful. It says this included 855 billion cuts to discretionary spending over the decade. The reductions affected agencies and programs, including defense, education, justice, and the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, among others. It also slapped a 2% cut in payments to Medicare providers as part of reductions to mandatory spending problems. So, yeah, the country definitely felt this, but there's no way to do something like this without the country feeling this, and everything like that, which Joe Biden, I'm sure, is very well aware of in the administration. But, yeah, it was good that he wanted this bill to pass. Our debt is outrageous, and he actually did make a positive move to cut it. Now, I could definitely see why that would be deemed as ugly, because think about it. If you work for anybody, if you are a government worker that works for any of this, or let's say even your Medicare, now you need to spend more for your Medicare than, would have been provided to you. That definitely is an issue, but at a certain point, we got to do what it takes to keep our economy going. We got to do what it takes to keep our economy flowing. Now it says fast forward to 2023. One of the major sticking points to ending the debt ceiling impasse was the depth of spending cuts. The Biden administration had balked at returning spending to fiscal 2022 levels, which the Republicans included in their debt ceiling bill earlier this year, the firm held. Now it says in the end, the deal announced that over the weekend calls for non-defense discretionary spending to be pared back for fiscal 2024, but agreed upon appropriation adjustments that will make up nearly all the difference. Non-defense spending would rise just 1% in fiscal 2025. One important distinction between 2011 and today is that the spending caps back then were Plan B, and Warren Payne, a senior advisor at Mayor Brown, who was a senior Republican staffer, Ways and Committee. He said, people were operating under the presumption that spending caps would never actually happen. Now the spending caps are among the GOP's top priorities. So essentially kind of what Obama did back then seems to be affecting Joe Biden heavily now. Now it says even if Congress passes this debt ceiling package, House Republicans may find it difficult to adhere to the caps when it comes time to actually appropriate funding for the federal government's operations later this year. So he's saying even though we may put a cap on spending for a lot of things, even though we may, keep that debt ceiling, as tight as we can, he's saying the Republicans may not kind of be going for it, and they may still push that budget throughout, 2025, and everything like that. So it's not set in stone necessarily, as you could say. Now they'll say it's reasonable to expect that at the end of the day, we will end up with the same pressures to increase spending. Interesting. So guys, let me know what you guys think about this. Also throw a like, comment, subscribe. I'm sorry, this has definitely been a quite interesting video with little Josie, man. He's on the ground. He's living his best life and everything like that. But let me know what you guys think about that. Do you guys think the decisions that he made, to kind of cut our spending were good? Do you think they were positive at the time? And if they weren't, definitely let me know why. Because I feel like, obviously, I'm not a politician. It's a very fine line that you can play with furthering the debt ceiling, and also having to deal with, the losses that will come by not furthering the debt ceiling. Because at that point, you have your own people angry at you because your own people are working the government jobs. Your own people may not have access to certain facilities, or they may not getting paid as much as they used to. And obviously that's going to make them mad, and that's going to make them go against the president and everything like that. So just let me know what you guys think about that. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to just grab some water real quick, and then we're going to get into the next topic, which is about to be about our boy Prince Henry and Meghan Markle, because there might be some trouble in paradise. But I'll be right back. What's going on, man? You talking through the whole video? Come here. Come here. You talking through the whole video? What, man? What's up, man?
No.
Excuse me.
No.
What's up?
No.
Excuse me. I gotta pull up my chair. Alright, guys, so let's get into the next topic, which is about to be about our favorite couple over here on the channel, Prince Henry and Meghan Markle, people. Now, it seems like there could be some possible trouble in paradise. Is it cap? Is it not cap? I don't necessarily know. You never know when it's rumors or not, especially when you're dealing with celebrities, unless somebody officially comes out to speak. But it seems like Prince Diana's former butler has had some things to say. Obviously he's been around the royal family a lot, being Princess Diana's, butler and everything like that, and friend, it also says. So let's kind of see what he has to say about the whole situation. Hopefully there's not trouble in paradise and everything like that. I never wish anything bad on anyone's relationship or anything like that, but we know it has been sticky. Meghan Markle's probably put him in some very unfortunate or undesirable situations and everything like that. But let's just see what's going on and what their former butler had to say, or not their former, Princess Diana's former butler has had to say.
Has Harry finally woken up to the truth? Has he finally seen the truth and what his wife is doing? That he's been brainwashed and that he's been mesmerized by her beauty or something?
First, that little snippet real quick already told me they do not like Meghan Markle over there. Like they're feeling like Prince Henry's like in some kind of trance. He's in some kind of situation where he's just, he's just like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. I'm gonna abandon my family. I feel that's kind of how they feel, and I honestly feel like they're kind of justified for that and everything. But let's see what he has to say. Let's see what he has to say. Let me make this smaller for you guys so you guys can see what it's saying. Let's see.
And I think he's always wanted to be a father. He always wanted children. I think this element of splitting from his family right now is a little premature. I think he would want to stay in that driving seat to watch his children grow.
So as you guys can see here, it says, essentially he says that he has no doubt Harry will return to the U.S. and King Charles and Prince William will greet him with open arms and everything like that. So he's kind of predicting that maybe there is some trouble in paradise, and that, Prince Harry will kind of, essentially be back and he'll be welcome. I don't know if Meghan Markle will be welcome, but I can definitely think he's built a life with them. They have kids. They're married and everything like that. He's not going to just split what he could, but, it's very unlikely that he would just, split all of his marriage and everything like that unless there were troubles to go to the UK. So if we ever hear that, he's going back to the UK and everything like that, then we already know that there's trouble in paradise, which, I could definitely see Meghan Markle being a difficult person to deal with and everything like that. But today we're not going to be talking down on Meghan Markle. We just kind of want to hear what he has to say. So I'm going to continue. Basically saying we'll greet him back. And they don't understand why he's doing what he's doing at the moment. Wow, this is big. It says this report comes after Harry allegedly contacted divorce lawyers and spent time alone in the 2 California hotels. Now, if this is true, that would definitely be a problem, guys. That would definitely be some tea. That would definitely be some tea, and everything like that. That would not be a good look at all, for the family and everything. And it's not looking good for them in general. I mean, I feel like, personally, as a man, you always want a woman who's going to bring something to your life, going to contribute, bring you closer, be more of an asset to your family. You want your mom to love her. You want your dad to love her. You want them to support what she does and everything like that. And one of the worst things that you can do is kind of split family, and everything like that. A situation where you have to choose between your wife or your husband, and you have to choose between your family. It's just something that no one should have to go through if they're in a happy relationship. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to do that. And I think the great things I love to see, like, for my brother, for specific, his fiance, she's a great woman. We all love her at the family and everything like that. And I feel like that strengthens his bond with his family, because even if he's not talking to us, or even if he's doing something, she is still there, and you know what I'm saying, and everything like that. So, we can still communicate with her family, have good times, have barbecues, picnics, whatever people want to do, regardless of if he's even there. So it just really strengthens that bond, and I think that's really a beautiful thing. So already knowing in the forefront that they already are having family issues kind of makes me believe that, there could possibly be some truth into this, and that there is trouble in paradise, because the dynamic is already just off, because her and his family don't get along, and family should be everything, especially if you're a prince, and y'all have to have that. You have an official family, I guess you could say. And this is another person saying that there have been issues in the family. Wow. This is something too that it was saying, if you guys saw, it was talking about he's going to have a hard time, getting back into, I guess you could say his princehood or whatever, because of all, everything that's just been done. It's kind of like when you break up with a girl and it's a sticky breakup. It's a nasty situation. Somebody's windows get smashed out or everything like that. Let's say you go to your family and you vent, to them and everything like that. And you vent in a relationship, whether that be male or female, and then you get back with that person. You may get back with that person and you may even have a clean slate with that person. But now both of you have to deal with all of the fallback that everyone else knows. It's that same kind of situation where it's like, even if you did want to come and make, a presence, let's say in the, the British monarch and everything like that, it could be a little bit more difficult now, because so much has already been aired out. So much has already been said that otherwise would have been secrets, behind closed doors, but now they're not.
I agree with what Paul Burrell said as well. He said that there were always going to be potential cracks appearing in this marriage because, with great press and great attention comes great pressure.
Did she say what I think she said? She had something on her mind.
Understandably, it's like any celebrity marriage, those sort of rarefied conditions the relationship is in is not necessarily conducive to maintaining a relationship. So I would not be surprised if any of this is true.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week. They're dealing with a lot. They're dealing with a lot right now. A lot of it's self-inflicted, though. Let's keep it a stack. Very interesting. Now you guys know Sky News. Pretty notable news team. Pretty notable news team, in Europe and everything like that. Correct me if I'm wrong. I used to watch a lot of soccer, so I would see a lot of Sky News because of that. And I still do watch a bit of soccer, shout out to the Premier League, the greatest league on earth, you know what I'm saying? I think it would be amazing to be living in Manchester and be able to go see Manchester United games every Sunday. Perhaps on Saturday, but mostly on Sunday. But let me know what you guys think about this and everything. Do you guys think this is just kind of like the media trying to push a narrative or everything? Or do you guys think that there actually is trouble in paradise? Like you said, there was the butler that used to live with Princess Diana, but that doesn't mean that she had any, or he had any, relation with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. It didn't say he was their former butler or anything like that. So it seems a little off. But let me know what you guys think about this situation and everything. How do you guys see this playing out? Like, do you guys see Prince Harry actually moving back to the UK? If he did, would Meghan and the kids move with him? Or would it be a situation where he moves and they kind of do this whole split marriage thing, divorce type of thing, and they stay there? We definitely don't want to risk or wish divorce on anybody and on this channel at all. So I do hope they stay together. I do hope their kids can, be able to wake up and see their mom and their dad every single day. Now, I do think it would be good for them to kind of, shrug their shoulders a little bit, take a little accountability for their actions, apologize, and, go back to the UK. I don't think that would be a bad thing. Do I think they would be able to, have a real presence in the UK? That's just something that they would have to work on, because the people in the UK do not really like them like that for pretty good reasons, to be honest, and everything like that. But like, comments, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow for sure. And guys, I don't want to hold you up, so we're gonna get into the next video. But definitely do all that, and I appreciate all the love you guys are showing. That we're gonna hit 600K, so we're gonna be eating some spicy wings soon. As you guys know, every 100 followers I get, we do like a little thing where we go live and we eat some spicy wings. And when I say spicy, I mean like the spiciest ghost pepper wings, wings like that and everything like that. So just let me know, and I'll be right back, guys. What's up, man?
No.
Hmm?
Oh no. I want.
Hmm?
I want.
Fist bump. Yeah.
I want.
Let me get it.
Oh no.
Yeah, man. We got one more topic. We about to talk about how Netflix and hopefully not your Disney Plus and everything. Hopefully they don't remove your shows. We need your shows, man.
No. I want. Hello? What? Oh no!
What?
Oh no! Uh-oh. Hey, Mama.
Hmm?
What? Uh-oh.
He thought his mama was here, guys, because I went close to the door.
Oh. Oh.
Good. You right, man? All right, so let's get into the final topic, guys. The final topic is about these streaming services, which I know we all use, which is exactly why I brought out this topic in the first place. Your Amazon Prime, your Netflix, your Hulu, your Disney Plus, whatever it may be. They got all types of stuff now. They got Peacock, all of them. But it says that they're removing tons of movies and shows. And it's not personal. It's strictly business. Let's move this. Let me make this a little bit bigger. All right. So let's see what's going on. What is the business side of this? And you can already see Disney Plus right here. We've got a woman watching Disney Plus. I got Disney Plus on the back right here for Josie. You guys can't see him. He's too low. But yeah, we've got Disney Plus Mickey Mouse on for Josie right now. So Josie is going to be real angry if he can't be watching his Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, So we're going to need that. So if they're going to at least remove it, potentially, we want to know why. So let's see what's going on here. It says streaming was supposed to be forever. That's a touching line right there. It says that was the promise of a digital library of movies and TV shows. Yeah. You would have thought once I had access to a show, I wouldn't lose access to that show if I ever wanted to watch it again or anything like that. Now it says consumers got used to Netflix cycling through titles, aware that as Hollywood studios launched their own streaming services, proprietary content would transition to a new platform. Even when Warner Bros. Discovery pulled content as a part of a planned tax write-off tied to its manager, consumers seem to accept the move as the cost of doing business. Sometimes you may have to give up a few shows, Now it says, however, as Disney is set to yank dozens of shows and films from Disney Plus and Hulu, including Willow, the Mighty Ducks came. Oh man, they can't touch the Mighty Ducks, guys. The Mighty Ducks is legendary. If you guys haven't seen the Mighty Ducks, definitely check it out. It's a classic. And the Mysterious Benedict Society, subscribers are suddenly faced with a new reality. At first, I expected any show that was on a streaming platform would stay on the platform. This was Conrad Burton, an account manager at a transportation company in Raleigh, North Carolina, but I started noticing things expiring. Now it says, what's the deal? After the initial boom of new platforms and subscriber growth aided by the pandemic lockdowns and a surge of fresh content, the digital streaming industry has cooled. And Wall Street has turned up the heat on media companies, now focusing on if and when streaming will be. Hey, man. Hey, what you got going on, man? We streaming, bro. Bro, we're making content. I mean, he's in a talkative mood right now, or whatever you can call that. Now it says the change came last year after Netflix reported its first subscriber loss in a decade. Hey man, Josie. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it. I'll be playing with you soon, man. Now, it says what is hitting their income statements is the amortization of content that's already been made and released. Said Michael Nathanson, analyst at SVB. Oh gosh, SVB. Nathanson. Warner Bros. Discovery was one of the first to figure this out, so we have to give credit where it's due. They said they need to get their earnings up, so they started taking shows off the app. Disney is now doing that, and we should expect Paramount, oh, that's another one, to follow suit. And one day, Netflix may even do the same thing. So it's almost like, too, you know, you hear about Amazon, you hear about Apple, you hear about Google cutting employees and everything like that because they have to pay for those. It's the same general idea with shows. You know, a lot of times they have to pay to keep a show up on a month. You know what I'm saying? If you're Hulu and you want to have Family Guy, then you have to pay the owners of Family Guy every month that you have it running. That becomes a big part of your budget. And as we know, their budgets aren't as big as they used to be after this post-pandemic recessionary era. So for that reason, these cuts do seem to, you know, kind of make sense. Do I like it? No. Is it fair to the consumer? Honestly, no. Because the consumer probably bought these products, you know, in these live streams, assuming that they would, you know, be getting access to a certain product that is now changing. Now, would they reduce the cost because of this? Absolutely not. And that's where it becomes a thing where it's like, it really becomes a negative for the customer, but also you have to handle some negatives as a customer, essentially, to keep the business that you love going sometimes. Or else you will never be a customer because there won't be a business anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it says it's been difficult for customers to understand why content made specifically for streaming platforms has been removed, especially when Netflix originals remain untouched in its library. From a consumer standpoint, they want to always be able to have access to their content. Absolutely. I am the same. It says the part that really confuses consumers is because they don't understand how content is licensed. They do get confused when one day content is on a service and then disappears, or the content is still in the service, but it's only for X number of seasons. Yeah, if you guys have seen that, especially on Hulu, sometimes, you know, certain seasons will be, you know, available, certain seasons won't, and you'll be like, wait, what? Why is this show on here? But there's only a few, you know, seasons, and it's because they only have a license to show that amount of seasons. Now it says removing content from platforms is a way for streamers to avoid residual payments and licensing fees. Much like a syndication of Hollywood's yesteryear, streaming services must pay for the right to host a title. He noted that if a title is not owned by the streamer, then a licensing fee must be paid to the studio that owns the content. For example, Hulu licenses The Handmaid's Tale from MGM Television. So as you might think, oh, The Handmaid's Tale is only on Hulu, like that must be owned by Hulu. No, Hulu is paying MGM Television for the access to The Handmaid's Tale because they created the show. And a lot of times if you're not smart, if you're smart, you don't do a direct buyout, you know what I'm saying, like $50 million for The Handmaid's Tale. What instead you'll do is, you know, something like, you know, $3 million per year to have The Handmaid's Tale available, you know, and everything like that. It says even titles that are owned in-house must be licensed as well. This I didn't know. That's why NBC Universal had to pay itself $500 million to stream Universal TV's The Office on Peacock and Warner Brothers. Discovery paid $425 million for the streaming rights to Friends. So even though they kind of have to pay themselves, especially when smart companies like, like Warner Bros had to pay WBTV, Warner Bros TV. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like Warner Bros Discovery, Warner Bros TV. Warner Bros Discovery, as far as the books, has to pay them for that. If they don't do that, that also decreases the value of their asset. If somebody else was to come in and ask for Friends, then there's no longer a valuation on it if they created it themselves. Now, it says by removing content specifically made for streaming rather than licensed shows and movies. I heard something at the door. I was like, what is that? Warner Bros. And Discovery and Disney can immediately cut expenses. Warner Bros. Discovery saved tens of millions of dollars after eliminating content. The studio's removal of movies and TV shows began last summer with titles such as Sesame Street and The Not Too Late Show with Elmo and teen drama Generation. But in ensuing months, more and more original HBO and Max content was removed. Most notably, sci-fi dramas Westworld. Oh yeah, a lot of people really like that. I actually need to watch Westworld. If you've seen Westworld and you thought it was hitting, definitely let me know in the comments. And let me know why you thought it was such a good show too, as well. Now, he said, in my opinion, it discourages subscribers from checking out future original content. Streaming used to be seen as a safe haven for consumers who were sick and tired of seeing shows canceled on the traditional TV. Now, streamers are following suit by canceling their own underperformers. And I'm actually going to leave it by that because I want to get the conversation going here, guys. I think we get the general idea of this. Obviously, they're cutting content because we're in a recession right now and they need to make money. Netflix, all of them, Hulu and everything don't necessarily own the content. So every year they're paying for that content. So content that's probably on the lower end of the spectrum, people aren't watching it too much, or it may even be on the higher end of the spectrum, but the price is just too expensive, too unaffordable, then they may not be able to, continue to have this. Now, the question here is, do you guys think this is fair? Do you guys think there should be a price reduction when things like this happen? Like, imagine you bought HBO simply to be able to watch Game of Thrones, and now Game of Thrones is no longer on there. The product that you bought is no longer that product anymore. So traditionally with other things, if you're not going to do that, or if the product is going to be worse, there's a decrease. You know what I'm saying? If you order ramen noodles and you have all the fixing, you got beef in it, you got chicken in it, you got shrimp in it. If they take out the shrimp, what do you expect? You expect a decrease in your cost because of that. So just let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know if you've also kind of experienced, this hard hitting itself where a show that you've really liked has been removed and what platform has been removed from and everything like that. And just let me know. Just let me know. Let's get the conversation going, guys. And, maybe we can really get something going, and we can start a petition to end this, That's probably not going to happen. But, hey, it would be great. It'd be great. But thanks for all the conversations you guys have. Thanks for all the love you guys always show the channel. I really do appreciate it and everything like that. And I hope you guys all have a great day. And thank you for tuning in to the stream.